Choose courage. So we're living in interesting times right now, and we understand that we're under circumstances where our everyday life isn't what it used to be. And so now what you see are people acting out in ways that we would have never dreamed of. When pressure's put on, like Eduardo said, it really reveals who someone is. So I'll begin this with a little story from one of my favorite sitcoms. There's supposed to smoke back there. So George Costanza, infamously known for pushing an old lady out the way, pushing over little kids just to get to safety because he smelled smoke. And you would think something like this would be the only thing done in television. You know, it's something that was scripted. But here we find ourselves in 2020, and we have this going on. We have people fighting over toilet paper. And in all actuality, if toilet paper never was made again, it wouldn't be a crisis for humanity. But yet we see people acting like buffoons over these minuscule things. We see people hoarding, no apparent reason, stockpiling on things that, is it really necessary? Is it important? Probably not. But people are searching for control because right now their day-to-day doesn't seem like it is in control. So we see this type of behavior happening. So when people become that way, it's because they're thinking about themselves. And they never really seem to think about the consequences. We see people going in, lining up, almost a mile-long line of people just in grocery stores, grabbing things off the shelves, thinking about themselves when in actuality where we should be thinking about the other human being. Because we've been through tragedies before. We're going to be through some more in the future. And guess what? We're always going to get through with it. So like Eduardo said, the great John Maxwell said, challenges always expose who you are. So when these tragedies happen, when we come against these crises, what is the first thing people, or the majority of people grip or go to is fear. So when you see people fighting over toilet paper, clearing the shelves of things they probably can't even afford and it will probably expire within 5 days, it's because they're driven by fear, which is causing them to worry, which is causing them to panic. And then that's when you see people acting like we see today in our all over the news. So what if people took a different look, right? What if people actually just said, okay, in 2008, there was a crisis, we happened through that. We've gone through world wars. We've gone through where people were put in gas chambers. We were put in situations where people were considered less than human. How did they overcome that? And they overcame it by faith. And so leaning on that faith, they started to focus on what was really important, which gave them wisdom to focus on their family, their loved ones, being of service to others. And that brought about peace within their day-to-day. So notice, this is an upward spiral. The last slide I shared was a downward spiral. So when you focus on fear, it's only going to bring you deeper and darker into the situation that you have at hand. Yes, we didn't ask for any of this, but we still have one thing. We have our will. We have our will and we have our choice to choose courage, to choose faith, and look upwards to help one another. Because when we do have that, we're able to focus on what's really important. So if you see here on the screen right now, the slide on the left is a circle of important things. The slide on the right is what you can control. We all know there's important things going on right now, and a lot of important things we cannot control. And then we also know that there's certain things that we can control. So what is the point of that? It's because you have to focus on the center. Right now, we have a very, very, very good time to reset, rediscover, and redefine what we consider important to us and what we consider things that we want to keep in control. So if people would just focus their efforts on what they can't control and what's really important, we wouldn't see all this buffoonery. We would actually see people acting like human beings. We'd see people reaching out and noticing that other people outside of themselves can't defend as they can, as they want to. We see people stepping up as heroes who in the past probably weren't even considered that. We see people gearing up, putting their lives at risk, choosing to take on courage so we can get out of this as fast as possible. So in that, when people do this, they have a choice. Thank you. They have a choice. They can choose courage. And also, when you have courage, always remember that you can have courage over fear. That's what's going to bring you over the fear, is choosing courage. And then lastly, I leave you with, when the whole world seems like it's chaotic and everyone's running like buffoons around you, remember to thank you.